Hello, I'm Horace Douty in Lexington, Virginia, and each Thursday I bring you by way of YouTube a local history lesson. And I have written these lessons in 2 volumes, one of which is in its second printing, and the title of the books are History Lessons from a Country Church, available from Amazon or Downtown Books in Lexington or the Bookery in Lexington. I encourage you, if you enjoy these local history lessons, that you share them with your family and your friends. Click on like, go to Horace Douty YouTube, click on like, then subscribe, and then click on the little bell icon so that you'll be notified. I appreciate your support. Today, the history lesson is entitled Bigfoot Wallace. If you have never heard of Bigfoot Wallace, there was a time when Mexico would have envied you. Those people had heard too much of him. Wallace and another Rockbridge County boy named Sam Houston were making things difficult in Mexico, and they were altering the course of that country's history. Bigfoot was born in 1817 on the family farm a mile or so to the southeast of Lexington, Virginia. His full name is William Alexander Anderson Wallace. He inherited good genetics through such remarkable forebears as the Lady Magdalena, frequently cited in these history lessons, and his noble grandfather Samuel Wallace. The first court of Rockbridge County was held at the Wallace home in 1789. 30 years later, William arrived. He grew strong and unusually tall. His spirit was fearless and cheerful. The blood of bold patriots flowed in his veins, and William knew it. Rockbridge people knew and recounted the exploits of gallant Wallace heroes. When William was 20 years old, his brother Samuel died at the hands of Mexicans in what some refer as the Massacre of Goliad, Texas. William's fighting spirit was ignited. He vowed vengeance upon Mexico, and that vow set the course of his life. With 2 comrades, James Paxton and Franklin Shields, they left Rockbridge and set off for Texas. The record tells us that they headed due west from Lexington, taking the route through Collierstown and over the mountains. In Texas, William became a soldier in John Hay's Ranger Squad, where he quickly won admiration as an uncommonly gifted warrior. In several historic battles, William made Mexicans pay dearly for his brother's death. Vengeance was extracted through the unerring marksmanship of William's famous rifle. He was not always on the winning side. In 1842, William Wallace was captured and spent 16 miserable months in a Mexican prison. And during that period, a charitable group of Americans donated shoes for the confined soldiers, but nothing would fit William's feet. Eventually, a pair was locally crafted in a size large enough for him, and from that day onward, William Wallace was known as Bigfoot Wallace. After the Mexican War, William became a Pony Express rider, and he may be the only native of Rockbridge County to win that title. Wallace would cover 500 miles a week on horseback. Through storm and danger, he never failed to deliver the mail from San Antonio to El Paso. There were times when he was forced to use his guns with deadly accuracy, and Bigfoot never fired a warning shot. When his rifle cracked, somebody fell. Eventually, the robbers and the Indians learned to back off from this lone rider who gave the appearance of vulnerability. Texans were so impressed with Bigfoot's many contributions to their state that the legislature gave him nearly 1,300 acres of land on Galveston Island. Due partly to his own carefree attitude, Bigfoot Wallace never gained free title to the land. He simply let it go. The Lexington Gazette of December 1933 recounts that Bigfoot's last years were marked by poverty and loneliness, despite his legendary heroism. William Wallace died in 1899 and was buried in San Antonio. Here in Rockbridge, some effort had been made toward preserving the memory of a native son. A Presbyterian pastor named E.W. McCorkle began a campaign to erect some kind of marker in Lexington. And when McCorkle was stricken with serious illness, Matt Paxton, editor of the Rockbridge County News, took charge of the project and brought it to completion in 1936. A bronze plaque set in marble now stands at the corner of Main and Houston Streets in the town. The inscription is headed Bigfoot Wallace 1817-1899, and the text announces his birth nearby and summarizes his life in Texas. It also affirms that Texas has signally honored his memory and that his ordeals are recorded in Texas history. We know that people in Texas honor Sam Houston, the Rockbridge neighbor of Bigfoot. They were instrumental in placing a monument near Houston's birthplace at Timber Ridge. Texans named a major city for Houston, and his statue stands in their state capital. But the memory of Bigfoot Wallace is not quite as bright, but perhaps this short account that I'm giving will endure. As you drive north on Main Street into Lexington, you will pass Wallace Street, named in honor of Bigfoot's family. The next intersection at the Mayflower House is where his monument rests in the hedge at the corner of Houston Street. Stop. Salute this tall soldier, Pony Express rider, Indian fighter, who in life was so admired and so loved. The story of this Rockbridge hero and his notable family must never be forgotten. There is your history lesson for today. Bigfoot Wallace.